Let's be real, brother. A woman can say, I miss you, and still not think twice about you. She can call you babe while texting two other guys. Because in today's world, words are cheap, performances are easy. But love, real love, it reveals itself in silence, in the moments no one else sees. I've learned this the hard way. Used to think affection was about what she posted, how often she called, what she said, but I've grown to realize when a woman truly loves a man, she doesn't need to say it. She lives it, she shows it, she embodies it. You just have to know what to look for. So today, I want to show you something deeper, not what women say, but what they do when their heart belongs to you. If you've ever wondered whether her feelings are real or if you're just convenient, this will give you clarity. Because once you recognize the signs of real love, you'll never settle for half-hearted again. Let's begin. Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks, brother. Sometimes it shows up as a quiet gesture when you're too drained to ask for help. I remember one night, I'd been grinding nonstop, no sleep, no breaks. The kind of exhaustion that makes your bones ache. I didn't text her, didn't say a word, but she showed up anyway. Not with drama, not with demands, just a hot meal, a calm voice, and the kind of presence that says, I see you. That's when I realized, a woman in love doesn't wait for you to fall apart to show she cares. She senses it before you say a word. She notices the small shifts, your energy drops, your tone changes, your silence lingers longer than usual. And she responds without being asked. Not because she's trying to impress you, not because she's desperate to keep you, but because something in her heart is tethered to your well-being, and your rise feels like her own. That kind of care, it's not performative, it's not transactional, it's sacred. She'll bring you coffee when you didn't even know you needed it. She'll check in after your big meeting, even if you barely mentioned it in passing. She remembers the things you forgot you shared because she's paying attention, not just hearing you, but listening. And here's the truth. She won't do this for just any man. She won't break her routine for a guy she's unsure about. She won't nurture a man who's just filling time. But when a woman chooses you with her actions, especially the quiet ones, that's no longer just interest, that's devotion. So if you're wondering where you stand, don't watch her words. Watch her when no one's watching her. Love, real love, isn't loud. It's consistent. It's intentional. It's present, even in your silence. And if you've felt that kind of care, don't ignore it. Don't take it for granted. That's rare. You can tell a lot about a woman's heart, not by how she acts when she's with you, but by how she speaks about you when you're not around. See, when a woman truly loves you, your name becomes part of her integrity. It's not just who you are, it's what you represent to her. Most women, they'll smile in your face, laugh at your jokes, maybe even call you babe. But when their friends take shots at you, they stay silent. They let the jokes slide. They laugh along when someone calls you too intense, too quiet, or too much. But a woman who loves you, she won't let anyone distort the image of you because in her world, your name has weight. She'll stop the gossip mid-sentence. She'll say, don't talk about him like that. And she won't care if it makes things awkward because her loyalty doesn't depend on convenience. It's rooted in respect. I once had a woman defend me in a room full of people I didn't even know. Later, when someone told me about it, I just sat in silence. Not because I was shocked, but because I knew that moment spoke louder than any I love you ever could. When someone's not there to defend themselves and you still speak up, that's character, that's alignment, that's real. A woman who loves you will make your dignity her concern. She'll guard your reputation like she guards her own. Not because you're perfect, but because she has something in you that's worth protecting, even when others don't. So if you're wondering how deep her love runs, don't just ask what she says to your face. Ask yourself this: what would she say about me if I wasn't in the room? Because if she can't defend you in your absence, she doesn't deserve you in her presence. Most guys wait for the words. They think love begins the moment she says, "You're my boyfriend," or when the relationship becomes Instagram official. But real love, it doesn't wait for a title. It reveals itself way before the labels ever show up. You'll notice it in the quiet choices she makes, The way she starts pulling back from old flings without you asking. The way she turns down certain invitations because she knows they'd make you uncomfortable. Not out of fear, not because you demanded it, but because in her heart, you're already hers. That's the difference. A woman who truly loves you doesn't need external rules to act like you matter. She starts protecting the bond before it's even defined. She stops replying to that one guy who always checks in. She says no to parties that feel more like temptation than fun. And when her friends ask, "Are you too official yet?" she just smiles because in her world, she's already chosen. And here's the subtle part most men miss. She's not doing this for validation. She's not trying to speed things up. She's doing it because your presence has already reshaped her standards. And that shift didn't require a conversation. It happened quietly, honestly, on its own. You'll see her go quieter online. Less about performing, more about preserving. Not because she's hiding you, but because some things are too sacred to share with the crowd. Brother, when a woman starts acting like you're hers before anyone's asked her to, that's not neediness, that's clarity. Because women don't go emotionally exclusive for a man they're unsure about. They only do it for the one they respect, the one they admire, the one they see a future with. So if you're with someone who says the right things but still acts like she's half out the door, believe the actions, not the promises. But if she's already chosen you, quietly, completely, you don't need a label to prove it. You've already got something real. Some women want to be saved, others want to take over. But the rare ones, the ones built for real love, they don't come to escape their own life, and they don't show up to hijack yours. They come to build, with you, not over you. You'll feel it early. She doesn't compete with your purpose. She doesn't guilt trip you when you're grinding late nights, chasing something bigger than comfort. Instead, she adapts. She finds her rhythm next to yours. And she does it without becoming a shadow of you. That's the key, brother. A woman in love will study you, not to manipulate, not to mimic, but because she genuinely wants to understand what makes you move. She'll start asking about your goals. Not just what, but why. She'll want to know why that one mentor means so much to you, or what drives you to get up at 5 a.m. when no one's watching. She doesn't need to be involved in every detail. She just wants to feel in step with the man she respects. And yet, she won't disappear into your world either. She'll keep doing her thing, her passions, her space, her voice, because she knows love doesn't mean self-erasure. It means coexistence with intention. The strongest women don't need to dominate or dissolve. They integrate. She becomes the melody to your rhythm, a harmony, not a disruption, a quiet strength beside you, not behind or in front. You'll notice how natural it feels. You won't have to ask her to respect your path. She just will. And here's the Stoic truth. A woman like that doesn't want to own your fire. She wants to fuel it. So when you find her, don't treat her presence like background noise. Because women who know how to love with balance, they're rarer than you think, and they don't stick around where they feel unseen. Every man has a night he doesn't talk about. The night he broke down in silence. The night he stared at the ceiling, wondering if he's enough. The night the charm faded, the strength cracked, and all that was left was raw truth. That's when you learn something powerful. Some people only love the highlight reel. They love the ambition, the charm, the discipline, but they vanish when your spirit stumbles. But a woman who truly loves you, she stays. She doesn't flinch when your voice shakes. She doesn't run when you open up about your past. She doesn't weaponize your scars or save them for an argument later. She listens. She sits with the silence. And somehow, without fixing anything, she makes the pain feel less lonely. And no, she's not staying out of pity. She's staying because your vulnerability doesn't scare her. It moves her. To her, your brokenness isn't a flaw. It's proof that you trust her enough to put the armor down. And that kind of trust, it's sacred. It can't be rushed, can't be faked. She doesn't love you despite your wounds. She loves you through them. She'll call you out, sure. She'll challenge you to grow, but she'll never make you feel like your darkness makes you unworthy. That's the kind of woman who becomes a mirror, not of who you were, but of who you're becoming. And that's love, brother. Not the loud Instagram kind, but the kind that whispers, even in this, I'm here. So if you've ever had a woman hold space for your mess, don't brush it off. Because in a world obsessed with surface, finding someone who sees your soul and chooses to stay, that's rare. And it's not just love, it's loyalty, unshakable, quiet, real. Not every woman says I love you with words. Some say it by the way they show up, by how they protect your peace, by how they adjust their steps to match your stride without ever making you feel like you owe them something. It's subtle. She doesn't make grand speeches. She doesn't post dramatic tributes online. She just does things. She remembers the small details, the brand of tea that calms your anxiety, the way you like silence after a long day, the look you give when your mind's racing but your lips stay quiet. She'll make space for that. Not to get credit, but because your comfort matters to her even when no one is watching. Her love is not loud. It doesn't need a stadium. It doesn't need applause. It just needs you to notice what's already there. And here's what most men miss. She might not say I love you every day, but she's been loving you in every small act of consistency. In every moment she chose patience over pressure. In every time she stood by your side without asking for more. That kind of devotion, it doesn't scream, it whispers. It's in the way she waits for you to open up without pushing, the way she trusts your judgment, even when she doesn't fully understand it, the way she honors your solitude, not as rejection, but as restoration. Some men chase drama and mistake it for passion, but the wise ones, they see that true love moves in rhythm, not chaos. It's not in the fireworks. It's in the quiet commitment, day after day, choice after choice. So if she's been loving you like this, through her actions, not just her affection, you're not just lucky, you're being called to rise into a man worthy of that kind of love. And if she's not, don't beg, don't chase. A woman who loves in devotion doesn't need convincing. She knows, and when she knows, you'll feel it without a single word. Not every man gets to experience it, that rare feeling of being seen with the he's done, without having to perform, of being chosen, without needing to chase, of being held steady in a world that's always pulling you in 100 directions. But if you've ever known a woman who made you feel grounded, like you could finally exhale, like you didn't have to prove anything to be worthy of love, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. She wasn't loud about it. She didn't demand credit, but her presence felt like a quiet anchor in the chaos. And if you've ever had a woman like that in your life, even just once, type the word anchor in the comments below, because your story might remind another man that yes, something real still exists. And if you haven't found her yet, don't rush, don't settle. Become the kind of man who draws that level of love through clarity, discipline, and quiet strength. Because a man grounded in himself doesn't just attract devotion. He commands it by how he moves, how he thinks, and how he leads. Subscribe to Stoic Advice for Men, where we don't chase validation. We become men who don't need it. And if this message hit home, share it. Someone out there needs to be reminded what real love actually looks like and what kind of man it takes to receive it.